The edge of the known universe. In the year 2235, humanity stood at the precipice of a new age of exploration. The stars, once distant and mysterious, had been brought closer by the advancements in faster-than-light travel. With a new, state-of-the-art exploration ship, the Eclipse, humanity's boldest mission was about to begin. It was a journey to the night's edge, a region of space that lay far beyond the known galaxy. The night's edge was a dark void that had remained largely unexplored, shrouded in mystery and danger. Few had ventured there, and returned with their sanity intact. Its proximity to gravitational anomalies, unstable energy fields, and unexplained phenomena made it an area of immense interest and even greater fear. The crew of the Eclipse was composed of the brightest minds humanity had to offer. Among them was Commander Lena Reyes, a seasoned captain who had led numerous deep space missions, and Dr. Jonah Williams, a brilliant scientist who had spent years studying the deepest reaches of space. Together with the rest of the crew, they were ready to break the boundaries of known space and uncover the secrets that lay hidden in the dark. As they crossed the threshold of the night's edge, a sense of anticipation filled the ship. For the first time, humanity would step into the unknown. However, as they ventured deeper, something became increasingly apparent. This was no ordinary region of space. The stars, which had once been a familiar, reassuring presence, now appeared dimmer, their light fading as if consumed by an unnatural darkness. The Eclipse's sensors began picking up strange, erratic readings, gravity fluctuations that made the ship sway, electromagnetic disturbances that scrambled the ship's communication systems, and an eerie hum that seemed to resonate from the very depths of the void. The crew tried to make sense of the data, but it was as if the laws of physics were being rewritten. Nothing made sense. The deeper they traveled, the stronger the sensation that they were being watched. A feeling of dread began to settle over the crew, something intangible but ever-present. It was then that they saw it, a flicker in the distance, so faint that it almost seemed like an optical illusion. But as they moved closer, the object became clearer, and what they saw would forever change their understanding of the universe. A massive, shimmering entity loomed in the distance, its form appearing to pulse with the energy of 1,000 stars. At first it was almost unnoticeable, a swirling cloud of energy and shadow, drifting silently through the cosmic void. But as the eclipse approached, it became apparent that this was no natural phenomenon. This was something alive, something massive. The first encounter, as the eclipse drew closer to the anomaly, the crew's excitement turned to fear. This was no ordinary space anomaly. The object, now unmistakably a creature, was massive, stretching across the stars like a living nebula. It seemed to undulate, rippling through the fabric of space itself, as if swimming through the void. The creature's body was an intricate blend of starlight and darkness, its edges shifting and flowing like liquid. It was as though the stars themselves were woven into its being, forming a massive ethereal form that was both awe-inspiring and terrifying. The ship's sensors scrambled to make sense of the readings. The creature's mass was incomprehensible. It had no discernible structure, no identifiable features like any known animal or plant. But the one thing that was unmistakable was the creature's sheer size. It dwarfed the eclipse, and it wasn't even close. The eclipse was a state-of-the-art vessel, capable of surviving the harshest conditions of deep space, but it felt like a fragile toy compared to this cosmic giant. And then, the creature turned. Its eyes, if they could be called eyes, glowed with the intensity of dying stars. These eyes were not simply visual organs, but conduits of energy, portals into something much greater. They focused on the eclipse, as though the creature had taken an interest in the crew. The eclipse's crew felt an overwhelming sense of dread wash over them, as though the creature was not just observing them, but reading their very souls. The creature moved with a fluid grace, its form shifting as it passed through the cosmic currents. As it neared the ship, the eclipse's instruments began to malfunction. Gravity warped, causing the ship to drift erratically. Time seemed to slow. The usual hum of the ship's engines faded, replaced by a deep guttural resonance, a sound that echoed through the very fabric of space. The crew could feel it, too, a strange pressure building around them, as though the very air had thickened. The ship felt like it was swimming through liquid instead of space. Commander Reyes gave the order to back off, but as the ship began to move, the Leviathan followed. It was clear that this creature was not a passive entity. It was aware of their presence, and it was not about to let them go without an encounter. The tension on board was palpable as the crew tried to make sense of what was happening. The ancient watchers, as the eclipse continued to follow the strange movements of the Leviathan, the crew realized that this creature was not alone. It was part of something much larger, a race of beings that had existed long before humanity had even learned to build ships. These beings, now identified as the astral Leviathans, were ancient cosmic entities that had been drifting through the universe for eons. Dr. Jonah Williams was the first to piece together the puzzle. Using data collected from previous expeditions and analyzing the patterns of the Leviathan's movements, he began to realize the true nature of these creatures. They were not just animals. No, they were guardians. Guardians of something far greater than the crew could understand. They had witnessed the birth of stars, the destruction of planets, and the formation of galaxies. They were not just living beings, they were part of the cosmic order, protectors of something ancient, something powerful. The crew learned that the Leviathans were not simply drifting aimlessly. They were moving with purpose, as if they were following some ancient path laid out before them. It was clear that they were not just mindless creatures, but sentient beings with an understanding of the universe far beyond what the crew had ever imagined. The eclipse had unknowingly ventured into a sacred domain, and the Leviathans were not about to let them pass without a fight. The artifact of power, as the eclipse ventured deeper into the night's edge, the crew discovered what the Leviathans were guarding. Beneath the darkness, hidden within a vast gravitational anomaly, was an artifact, something ancient, powerful, and incredibly dangerous. This artifact had been hidden by an ancient civilization long forgotten, and it had the power to reshape the very fabric of the universe. Its true purpose was unclear, but the Leviathans were sworn to protect it no matter the cost. The artifact was located within a strange and chaotic region of space, where the laws of physics seemed to bend and break. The area was filled with dangerous energy fields, collapsing stars, and black holes that seemed to distort time itself. Yet, despite these dangers, the artifact lay at the center, protected by the Leviathans. Dr. Williams, captivated by the potential of such a discovery, believed that unlocking the artifact could provide humanity with unimaginable knowledge. He argued that this could be the key to understanding the very nature of the universe. Commander Reyes, however, was skeptical. She believed that some things were better left undiscovered, especially when it came to something so powerful. The risks were too great. The artifact, whatever it was, had been hidden for a reason. As the debate raged on, the crew found themselves caught between curiosity and fear. Should they risk everything to uncover the truth, or should they turn back and leave the artifact undisturbed? The wrath of the Guardians. The tension reached a breaking point when the crew, driven by their thirst for knowledge, attempted to approach the artifact. As they neared the gravitational anomaly where it was hidden, the Leviathans began to react. Their once passive movements became more aggressive. The eclipse was caught in the gravitational pull of one of the creatures as it moved toward the artifact, and the ship was rocked by a series of violent tremors. The Leviathans seemed to surround the ship, their massive forms blocking every escape. A massive Leviathan slammed into the eclipse, its energy field sending shock waves through the ship. The hull groaned under the pressure, and alarms blared as the ship's systems began to fail. The crew scrambled to keep the ship intact, but it was clear that they were outmatched. The Leviathans were not merely protecting the artifact. They were willing to destroy the eclipse to keep it hidden. In the chaos, the crew realized the true power of the Leviathans. These were not just cosmic beings, they were the universe's guardians, protectors of a force that should never be unleashed. The Leviathans were far more than simple creatures. They were ancient forces of nature, and they would stop at nothing to keep the artifact hidden. The choice: the Eclipse was severely damaged, its systems failing as the Leviathans surrounded them. The massive creature's energy fields warped space itself, preventing any chance of escape. Commander Lena Reyes stood at the helm, weighing the impossible decision: stay and try to uncover the artifact's power, or leave before the ship was destroyed. Dr. Jonah Williams was adamant. "We can't leave now. The artifact could change everything for humanity," he urged. Reyes shook her head. "The Leviathans won't let us take it. We're not ready for this kind of power." As the ship shuddered under another shockwave, Reyes made the call. "Prepare for evacuation, we're leaving now." But just as the crew initiated their escape, the artifact pulsed with a massive burst of energy, sending shockwaves through the space around them. The Leviathans recoiled, seemingly afraid of the artifact's power. It was their final chance. "Get us out of here," Reyes shouted. The crew scrambled to activate the engines. The Eclipse lurched forward, narrowly escaping the Leviathans' grasp. As they fled, the massive creatures lingered, watching as the ship disappeared into the darkness of space. The crew had made their choice: leave the artifact behind and survive. As the stars reappeared, the crew knew the truth. Some secrets were too dangerous to uncover, and humanity wasn't ready to wield them.